हेलो स्वीटी पाइस, कैसे हो आप लोग? I am so glad that we are talking about Indian literature. Can I just run and bring my phone? Came back. So today we have Indian literature of the British Raj, what we usually call English in India. As you already know, in this NET exam, they asked many questions from this area. And it is better you save this PDF. It has a lot of amazing content, okay? Take it from our Telegram group and use it well. Okay? To get our Telegram Telegram link, you can send us a WhatsApp message. All right, guys. Shall I begin today's session, Indian Literature of the British Raj? There is something I want to tell you. Unacademy wants you to know that there is a Republic Day offer. Today or tomorrow or the day after, you can use this offer, avail this offer and get 6 months free extension. And it is applicable on 1 year and above plus subscriptions. Get subscription using my code Kalyani Valat and get 10% off. Okay, so that is the offer that Unacademy is giving you. Right, guys. First, we talk about important dates and events. Are you ready for that? Ta-da-dang! 1498. That was a very momentous year. Why? Because sea route to India was discovered by Vasco da Gama. Round the Cape of Good Hope of Africa, Vasco da Gama came, and it became so much easier for the Westerners to come to India, start trade and commerce. Already from the Middle East, the Arabs were coming at this time. And in 1600, December 31st, it was, the East India Company was formed. Queen Elizabeth signed the charter, and East India Company began to do trade with India. Eventually, they began to rule India. In 1689, that is 17th century, 1689, when you study like this with expression so that you won't forget. In 1689 in England, Parliament became supreme. Before that, Parliament was not supreme. There was the Bill of Rights. Remember the 1688 Glorious Revolution? After Glorious Revolution, when William of Orange and Mary came to power, then they passed the Bill of Rights. As a result of the Bill of Rights, the Parliament became supreme. At this time, East India Company is flourishing. The Parliament is not paying attention to East India Company. After this only, Parliament starts thinking, oh my God, East India Company should not grow like that. We should control East India Company. All this. The Parliament started thinking only after the Bill of Rights. Okay, 1698. East India Company built Fort William around its factory. Before the net, I had taught you this. I hope you got it right because they asked in net this. Remember? Arrange in the chronological order. Do you believe this? East India Company built Fort William. 3 villages around Fort William became Kolkata. Calcutta began as 3 small villages around Fort William. That was the end of the 17th century. What was 1698? Year of? Voila! Jeremy Collier attacking Congreve and Wycherley. In the year, Jeremy Collier attacked Congreve and Wycherley. And in that year, Fort William was built. 3 villages came into being, which eventually became our magnificent city of Calcutta. 1757, that is mid 18th century. When you study history, read history and in an animated manner, expressive manner, study like this, then chronology will become easy. Don't sit like old people. 1757 Battle of Plassey, 1780 English newspaper, 1781 Calcutta Madrasa. Ma'am, I can't remember years. Be like children, yaar. Be like children. Enjoy studying, express it, act it out. Then it will be easy to remember. I'm telling you. 1757 Battle of Plassey. Arey, why am I talking about that? Here we are English literature students, not history students. Because English people became all powerful after the Battle of Plassey. After the Battle of Plassey, the Mughal Empire declined. Remember, before this, the Mughal Empire is very powerful. That is why Milton in the book 11 of Paradise Lost talked about Agra and Lahore, which were ruled by the Mughals. The English people were scared of the Mughals. The English people knew that Agra and Lahore are big cities. Did you understand? Ruled by the Mughals. That is why Milton glorified Agra and Lahore in book 11 of Paradise Lost. Did you understand, guys? And in 1780, after some 20 years after Battle of Plassey, English newspapers started in India. One day, NET will copy from me, NTA will copy from me and ask you all these things. Which of the following is an 18th century, is not an 18th century newspaper? Immediately remember, Kalyani ma'am taught us. Let me remember that PDF slide and I will answer correctly. Like that you should think, okay? Okay. Remember, English newspapers of the 18th century started one by one. India Gazette, Calcutta Gazette, Bengal Journal. How will you remember all these things? Now when you hear, okay, but you will forget next minute. How you will remember? By revising, researching on your own. You have to read extra. Don't ask me, ma'am, after studying your PDF, do we need to research more? Of course you need to research more. Otherwise you can't study the PDF. You won't remember anything. You have to read on your own. You have to research. Only then you will remember. Did you understand? So, India Gazette, Calcutta Gazette, Bengal Journal, Oriental Magazine of Calcutta, Amusement. Big title. Calcutta Chronicle. And in Madras also. अरे हमारे South India में भी Madras Courier. We have heard of DTDC Courier. मद्रास कुरियर भी था क्या? लेकिन ये तो न्यूज़पेपर है. ये क्या होता है? हर करू, मद्रास गज़ेट, इंडियन हेरल्ड, बॉम्बे हेरल्ड, फिर से कुरियर, बॉम्बे गज़ेट. So many newspapers. अभी इसी वक्त, don't leave the video, that is not what I mean. इसी वक्त नहीं, after the video, you should read extra. 18th century newspapers. Wow, how interesting. Let me search and find out information. Like that you should study. Okay. Now, that was the end of the 18th century. 1780 to 95, many newspapers came. You are wondering, how did ma'am get all this information? How did she get all this information? Because, ये देखो, टक 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 टक, देखो, देखो, English studies in India, देखो, ये सब आने वाला है. All these books one by one I am buying. I am reading. People like Sara Suleri, Rajeshwari Sundararajan, Sudhagar Marathe, Gauri Vishwanathan, Brajbi Kachru, C.D. Narasimhaya, Swati Joshi, Meenakshi Mukherjee, all these people have already written about it. N. Krishna Swami and Lalita Krishna Swami, their book has lots of information. The story of English in India. So, studying with me, studying from me, using all my materials is like reading all these books. Because I procured these books. If they are asking questions about these books, then they expect you to read it now. Okay, so going back to this. Ta-da-da! Where were we? Yes! All these newspapers came in 1780 to 95 period. Preeti, I had put PDF like 3-4 hours ago. Go and search in the files tab. Also, no, guys. 1781, Calcutta Madrasa, an educational institution for higher learning, was founded by Warren Hastings. Google search करना. Warren Hastings ने क्या क्या किया एजुकेशन के बारे में. You know what, guys? Luckily for us, a lot of civil service students are studying all these things. Jagran, Josh, and all those civil service sites will have information based on all this. So just casually look through, note down all the important points. ठीक है? Like that, when you study, you will become a great scholar. Okay? So, Warren Hastings founded Calcutta Madrasa, and in 1784, East India Company was brought under the control of the British Parliament. Remember, the British Parliament was gaining power from 1689 onwards. From 1689 onwards, British Parliament was gaining power. Now they brought East India Company under their power. Did you understand? Okay, I will do YouTube live for MA entrance. I will do, okay? I will do that. Then 1791, Banaras Sanskrit College is established. Calcutta, Banaras, Pune, Madras, Bombay. All these were epicenters of colonialism and education. Banaras Sanskrit College was established in 1791. 1792, that was the time when Thomas Paine wrote Rights of Man. Songs of Experience was published. Remember? Like this, cross-connect and remember. Then you will remember everything. 1792, Tipu was defeated by the British. And the East India Company became strong. Tipu Sultan was one ruler who stood up against the British like anything. He resented British oppression of India. He wanted to drive the British out of India. But he was defeated by the British. East India Company became strong in the south of India. Charles Grant published Observations. Did you know that? Charles Grant is not only the man who led to one act, he also published Observations. Will you look up? 1794, William Carey, an English missionary. William Carey, remember, started the first school in Bengal where the medium of instruction was Bengali, not English. Same year, 1794, The Travels of Deen Muhammad by Sake Deen Muhammad was published. That was the first book in English to be written by an Indian. Hannah? 1794. And in 1795, censorship of newspapers was introduced. Array, newspapers only just started. In which year newspapers started? Dekho, 1780 to 95. 1795 में ही censorship भी आ गया. Censorship of newspapers. Newspapers, you can't say whatever you want. You have to shut up. That is censorship. 1795. Did you understand? And then I'm teaching energetically because these are years, these are boring, you won't be able to pay attention. But I'm trying to show you, no, dear friends, this is interesting, this is lovely. Did you understand? Okay. 1797. Can you see? Is it too small for you? अरे बहुत छोटा हो गया ना. स्लाइड एक बार एक करती हूँ मैं. Duplicate करो. Because students need to see what you're saying. Kalyani Valat? Okay. हमारे पास है ना सबका solution मिल गया. टिक 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 टिक. Okay. So we were talking about 1795, censorship of newspapers. 1797, Charles Grant persuaded the East India Company and the Parliament of England, please impart English education to Indians. Charles Grant wanted the East India Company as well as the Parliament of England to teach Indians English. Okay? Remember, Charles Grant wrote Observations in 1792. Observations. And in 1797, he somehow persuaded East India Company, Parliament of England, please impart English education to Indians. Remember Tipu Sultan? He was defeated in which year? Remember 1792. After that, 1799, Tipu died in battle. That was a very big loss for India. You know why? Because after that, there was no such ruler who stood up against the British. He died. Mysore was conquered by the East India Company. The English established their power over India. And that was the end of the 18th century. 19th century is the heyday of English rule in India because Tipu was defeated in battle. 1800, Bengali elementary school opened at Serampore, Bengal. Serampore Mission Press also started at this time. The press in India was always in the beginning associated with school education. Presses were meant for printing textbooks. Did you understand? Education was meant to teach ideology. Press was meant to print textbooks. Did you understand, guys? English education or English rule in India is what made our education thoroughly textbook based. Before that, we had Gurukula Vidyabhyasa. At that time, our education was natural and better, but English rule made us textbook oriented, examination oriented, marks oriented. 1800, beginning of the 19th century, was the time when a Bengali elementary school opened in Serampore. Serampore Mission Press started, and also Fort William College was established. Fort William College. Remember, Fort William was established before this. And 3 villages became Calcutta later. Now, Fort William College is also established. That is a very important college where Henry de Rosier worked, didn't he? Or was it in Hindu College? Both of these were very big colleges from the beginning. Fort William College had some translators, I know. There was a translation department in Fort William College that did wonderful work at that time. Yes. Now, 19th century, 1813, everybody knows what happened. Charter Act. Charles Grant, remember? Charles Grant is behind Charter Act. Charles Grant was a missionary along with William Wilberforce. He wanted English education in India. Charles Grant started the movement for English education. This is Charter Act. Education became the responsibility of the East India Company. The British Parliament said, East India Company, if you want to do trade in India, teach them English. Missionaries were allowed to go to India. Missionaries were allowed to spread not only education but also Christianity in India. So missionaries began imparting English education. Thus, missionaries established convent schools. Convent schools, especially in the south of India. In South India, there were many convent schools at that time. Okay? And in 1817, what happened? The Hindu College, Calcutta was started. Raja Ram Mohan Roy was a very important figure in the establishment of Hindu College. First it was a school, then it became a college. Now it is a university, Presidency University, isn't it? 1817, big year it was. By then, Napoleon was defeated. 1815, Napoleon was defeated. 1817 is the year in which Keats started writing a few poems. 1818 is the year of Endymion. Keats is writing Endymion at this time. And in 1818, school book societies were set up. Like in a classroom, Shubhangi, Rahila, all these people are talking in class. They are just chatting and talking. They are not paying attention. Teacher को बहुत गुस्सा आएगा, मैं बताती हूँ. शुभांगी, राहिला, गुस्सा आने वाला है मुझे क्योंकि आप लोग you're not paying attention. Okay, so 1818, the year in which Endymion was written, was the year in which school book societies were set up in Calcutta. Textbook printing started. Textbook culture came into being. Textbook culture. Exams became textbook oriented. Syllabi was based on great books, useful books. syllabi was based on useful books versus dangerous books. Dangerous books print मत करना, किसी को पढ़ने मत देना. Useful books that say English are great people, Indians should obey English, such books only print karna. This is the meaning of textbook. Did you understand? Did you understand? So 1818 was a very big year. अरे फिर से छोटे छोटे लेटर्स आएगा तो आप लोग कैसे देख पाओगे? क्या है कल्याणी? यू शुड पे अटेंशन टू फॉन्ट साइज. फॉन्ट साइज ठीक होना चाहिए, नहीं तो ये लोग कैसे देखेंगे? ओके, नो प्रॉब्लम गाइस. I will change it now. I have changed it now. Okay, listen. So we were talking about the 19th century. 19th century, 1818 तक पहुंच गए हम. 1818. After that, in 1821, Sanskrit College Pune is established. Wow, Sanskrit College Pune was a very old institution, very big. हाँ, and 1823 क्या हो गया? अयो 1821 तब तक Keats मर गया. Keats is no more. Keats wrote all his best books in 1819 and died. 1823, Agra came into being. In that year, Raja Ram Mohan Roy wrote a letter, a famous letter to Lord Amherst. Raja Ram Mohan Roy wrote a letter to Lord Amherst. Did you understand? 1824. अयो कोई मर गया था 1824. अयो, is it Byron? 1824. Sanskrit College Calcutta is established. 1829, College at Delhi, and English Education Act came in 1832. After all these colleges were established, Macaulay got the idea. ये Indians, इन सब Indians को English पढ़ाना है, so that there will be an interim class of Indians who will teach the other low class Indians. He thought like that. Did you understand? He followed the downward filtration theory by which some Indians will teach the other Indians. Okay, that is English Education Act. Then 1854, Queen Victoria is in power. Remember, Queen Victoria came to power in 1837. अरे 1854 Great Exhibition of London भी हो गया. 1851 it was ना. 1851 it was Great Exhibition of London. उसके बाद 1854 Woods Dispatch, famous Woods Dispatch आ गया. उसके बाद क्या हो गया? First War of Indian Independence, which the English people called Sepoys Mutiny. Sepoys are mutinying. Did you understand? Sepoys Mutiny is our first war of independence. उसी समय क्या हो रहा था? Universities of Calcutta, Bombay, Madras established. 1857, Universities of Calcutta, Bombay, Madras, same year. In the year in which First War of Indian Independence is also happening. है ना? उसके बाद क्या हो गया? After 2 years, Charles Darwin published his Origin of Species. Charles Darwin published his Origin of Species. उसके बाद 1882 में क्या हो गया? 1882 Hunter Commission report. Hunter Commission report, as a result of which University of Punjab was established. It was the result of Hunter Commission report. 1887 University of Allahabad is established. 1902, the year in which Heart of Darkness was published as a book. University Commission of 1902. After that, 1917, the year of Russian Revolution. 1917 is the year of Russian Revolution. In that year, Calcutta University Commission or Sadler Commission came into being. Okay guys, did you like it guys? How history is progressing? Will you study like this expressively, like a story? You know, you should record your own talking like this. You should cross connect. You should make it look very interesting. Then in the exam, when they ask you chronology, they will think, ये लोग नहीं बोलेंगे, इसको कुछ नहीं पता, हम chronology पूछेंगे. And then what will happen? All of you will write correctly. Dang, 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 dang. Deal, guys? We will, surprise NTA next time, okay? We will give them a surprise next time. Next time we will write in such a manner that NTA chonk jayega. Oh my God. Why is everybody writing correctly? I can't believe it. NTA people will think. Yes, literary world, 1857, the year in which Conrad was born. Conrad and somebody else also was born. Conrad and one more famous man born in that year, 1857, I forgot. So, deal, guys? We are going to give a surprise to NTA. Next time NTA conducts NET, they are going to think, oh my God, we need to change our strategy. Everybody in India knows chronology now. Now let us ask them something else. Ta-da-da. Abhi, NTA is making us run around. NTA hame bhaga raha hai. Now we will make them run, okay? We will answer all the questions. We will make it so easy that we will be able to answer all the questions. And then NTA will start running from pillar to post. What questions will we make? What questions will we make so that they won't answer? Ting, ting, ting. Paper will be easy if you study like that. Okay. So, as part of English in India, very important is translation studies. Translation studies. What are the major books on translations? Citing Translation, History, Post-Structuralism and the Colonial Context by Madam Professor Tejaswini Niranjana. Okay? Tejaswini Niranjana Madam has written Citing Translation, History, Post-Structuralism and the Colonial Context. आप लोगों को एक चीज करना है. When I tell you names of books like this, look it up in the internet. Look at the contents page. Look at the cover page. What is there in the internet about it? Like that, थोड़ा बहुत research करना है. Will you do that? Will you do that? Okay? Now, citing translation, history, post-structuralism and the colonial context. That is why Professor Tejaswini Niranjana, she's a very major professor. You can Google her, find out all her books. Okay? Yes. They will know. I can't, my job is not to set question papers and all that. My job is to make you warriors. My job is to make you ready for the battlefields. Isn't it? That is my job. That is what I love. That is what I'm good at. Okay? Major translators. अरे मैंने शेयर किया ना कल का भी, कल का आज दोपहर को शेयर किया, ये भी शेयर करेंगे, ठीक है? You have to study. What do you mean, Sanjana? People who are in Telegram group reply her, ma'am Telegram पे PDF share नहीं करती, it seems. What do you mean? अरे आप लोग नहीं देखते Telegram group carefully. Sanjana, hundreds of people have taken the Telegram PDF already. Only you are there saying, ma'am share नहीं करती, ऐसे मत बोलो Sanjana. File tab में जाके देखो Sanjana. It is all there Sanjana. Okay, the world as India. Remember guys, in NET they had asked this time, the world as India. ये क्या है? It is about translation studies, literary translation. Okay, literary translation it is. Major translators are Nathaniel Brassey Hallhead, Charles Wilkins, William Jones, Monier Williams, Ralph T.H. Griffiths, Sanjana, ching, 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 ching. I'm going to punch Sanjana in the nose. Pay attention now. So many important people. Dekho, major translators. Who are the major translators? देखो 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 1 minute दो मुझे, मैं देखती हूँ. आ जाओ ट्रांसलेटर्स, कहाँ हैं आप लोग? आ जाओ ट्रांसलेटर्स. Yes, got it. What did Nathaniel Brassey Hallhead do? Nathaniel Brassey Hallhead translated a code of Gentoo laws. A code of Gentoo laws. Sanjana, you pulled my leg and I believed it. Then Charles Wilkins ने क्या translate किया? Charles Wilkins translated Bhagavad Gita. Charles Wilkins, Edwin Arnold translated Bhagavad Gita. William Jones ने क्या translate किया? अभिज्ञान शाकुंतलम. He also wrote some grammar books. Monier Williams also translated Abhijnana Shakuntalam, and he wrote a Sanskrit English dictionary. Sanskrit English dictionary. अरे ये Ralph T.H. Griffith ने क्या translate किया? He translated our Ramayana. Ding ding ding. Yes, Charles Wilkins wrote Bhagavad Gita translation. Ralph T.H. Griffith wrote Ramayana translation. Hannah John Gilchrist, Henry Colebrook, all important translators. Okay, did you understand? Yes, don't forget, okay? Right, then the impact of colonial education. See, many Indians began to write in English for the first time. There was Krishna Mohan Banerjee who wrote The Persecuted. It's a play, okay? It's a play by Krishna Mohan Banerjee. It is about Hindu orthodoxies. One protagonist is a Hindu. He is losing faith in his religion. Then a journal of 48 hours of the year 1945. It is a futuristic play again by Kailas Chandra Dutt. Then there are so many other writers. Rangalal Banerjee. He wrote Padmini Upakhyan. Bankim Chandra Chatterjee wrote Rajmohan's Wife. Nand Shankar Mehta, Samuel Vedanayakam Pillai, M.V. Rohalkar, Kandukuru Veeresalingam Pandulu, and Chandu Menon. They are all very important writers who were influenced by Western traditions. They were influenced by Western education. Will you remember during this time kya hua tha? During this time there was Renaissance in India. Indian Renaissance led by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Yesterday we talked about it. है ना? Yesterday we talked about it. Then Gandhian movement. Gandhian movement is represented in these books. And Gandhi is even a character in these books. One day they will ask in net. तभी सोचना मैम ने कुछ बोला था, हाँ मुझे याद है वो स्लाइड. Okay, I'm going to write correctly. Like that you should think, okay? Murugan the Tiller by K.S. Venkatramani. Murugan the Tiller by K.S. Venkatramani. Untouchable by, ये भी font size छोटा है क्या? इससे भी छोटा था और लोगों ने बोला we can see ma'am. Now you're saying you can't see, why? Which one? You can't see this. अरे देखती हूँ क्या कर सकती हूँ, बढ़ा तो सकती हूँ. Okay. Gandhian movement. Murugan the Tiller by K.S. Venkatramani. Untouchable by Mulk Rajanand. Kantapura by Raja Rao. गलती हो गई. This is 38. गलत क्यों लिखती है कल्याणी? कांतापुरा is 1938, Kalyani. Then So Many Hungers by Bhabani Bhattacharya. Waiting for the Mahatma by R.K. Narayan. So many books that represented Gandhian movement. है ना? Then Unacademy घुस गई. Unacademy is saying Republic Day special है, 6 months free extension. Please join now with Kalyani Valat as code. ठीक है? You can get all my PDF, all my lectures It is good actually. This is very economical. You don't have to spend a lot of money. What is Prem Ambrose asking? Who are the gentlemen in the play? The two gentlemen of Verona. Arey, Proteus and Valentine. Prem Ambrose. It is Proteus and Valentine. Okay guys. Ta-da-dang. English studies in India. बहुत सारे books है, बहुत important books. English in India, its present and future is by V.K. Gokak sir. V.K. Gokak is also the editor of Indo-Anglian, Golden Treasury of Indo-Anglian Poetry. है ना? Golden Treasury of Indo-Anglian Poetry. Bubbly Bhatt, I will give Republic Day offer in February. You know why? Staff is all down with COVID. Office is closed. That is why. Then, Moving Frontiers of English Studies in India. That is one early book by C.D. Narasimhaya sir. C.D. Narasimhaya sir started what? Dhvanyaloka. Dhvanyaloka. Remember they asked in net. Then he also wrote later another work. Okay. In 2000s also he wrote. Meanwhile, Pidgin English. Some notes on Indian English writing was written by Mulk Raj Anand. The Indianization of English, the English language in India, is by Brajabi Kachru. The Brajabi Kachru, very important. These names you should look up. You should look up their works and you should study. They are very important, okay? Then, The Alchemy of English, The Spread, Functions and Models of Native, Non-Native Englishes, also by Brajabi Kachru. Masks of Conquest is by Gauri Vishwanathan. All these I taught you before net and they asked in net. Did you get it correctly? I hope you got it correct. Masks of Conquest is by Gauri Vishwanathan. The Rhetoric of English India is by Sarah Suleri. The Lie of the Land, English Literary Studies in India is by Rajeshwari Sundararajan. Provocations, The Teaching of English Literature, edited by Sudhakar Marathe. The Otherness of English, India's Anti-Tongue Syndrome. याद है नेट में पूछा था. Prabal Das Gupta. Gargi and those who want telegram link के लिए just send me a WhatsApp message. You will automatically get the telegram link in 1 second. Just send me a WhatsApp message. I am posting the WhatsApp number here. 9037357688. Okay? Please send me a WhatsApp message. Immediately you will get the telegram link. Join करना. सब PDF है files tab में, उसमें से लेना. Okay. ये संजना जो बोलेगी यकीन मत करना. She is not telling the truth. संजना बोलेगी मैम कभी शेयर नहीं करती, लेकिन she is kidding. Okay? All right. Then Colonial Transactions, written by Harish Trivedi. Colonial Transactions भी पूछे थे. English Literature and India. WhatsApp में मैसेज करो प्लीज, टेलीग्राम में नहीं. WhatsApp में मैसेज करोगे तो ऑटोमेटिकली मिलेगा. ठीक है? Rethinking English, Essays in Literature, Language History, edited by Swati Joshi. अरे ये भी पूछा था नेट में. हमारा PDF कॉपी कर रहे हैं क्या NTA people? Then Problematizing English in India by R.K. Agnihotri and A.L. Khanna. Subject to Change, Teaching Literature in the 90s by Susi Taru. English Studies in India, Widening Horizons. मैंने बोला ना, C.D. नरसिम्हया जी ने लिखा है. My number is WhatsApp me 9037357688. टेलीग्राम पे नहीं, व्हाट्सएप करो. व्हाट्सएप करोगे तो मिलेगा मैसेज नंबर. ठीक है? नाउ The Perishable Empire, Essays on Indian Writing in English. That is Meenakshi Mukherjee. Okay? Meenakshi Mukherjee. टेलीग्राम ग्रुप मुझे टाइम नहीं मिलता लो फ्रेंड्स टू आंसर एवरीबडी. तो क्या करें, आप व्हाट्सएप करो, ले लो टेलीग्राम लिंक और टेलीग्राम ज्वाइन करो. ठीक है? इफ यू सेंड मी मैसेज इन टेलीग्राम ग्रुप मुझसे नहीं हो रहा आजकल, बहुत काम है. After 31st, when an academy is over, I will be able to find time. Okay? Because अभी बहुत काम, क्योंकि staff is also down with COVID, है ना, इसलिए. ठीक है? All right. More are there, my God, so many books in English in India. The Story of English in India, N. Krishna Swami and Lalita Krishna Swami. मैंने बोला ना, this is a very important book. This gift of English, English education and the formation of alternate hegemonies in India. Alok Mukherjee. हाँ, Meenakshi Mukherjee got Sahitya Akademi Award. Correct. Alok Mukherjee कोई और है. Alok Mukherjee's wife is Arun Prabha Mukherjee. She is a Dalit translator. Alok Mukherjee's wife is Arun Prabha Mukherjee. Then, chutneyfying English, the phenomenon of Hinglish. It is Rupert Snell and Rita Kothari. Queen's Hinglish is there. Queen's Hinglish. Baljinder Mahal. Queen's Hinglish. है ना? Then, Writing India, Writing English. Literature, Language, Location. It is by our professor G.J.V. Prasad. He was also Delhi professor. Have you heard of this? Wanderers, Kings, Merchants. I bought this book also. The Story of India Through Its Languages by Peggy Mohan. Peggy Mohan, very important professor. So these are all major books of English studies in India. Please memorize all this. Okay? Read a little bit extra. Find out more. Will you do that, guys? Are you tired? अभी और बहुत और बाकी है. Shall I proceed? Are you enjoying or are you tired? Literature in English आ रहा है. Look at this, the earliest works in English. The Travels of Deen Muhammad. है ना? Travels of Deen Muhammad, everybody knows. Very important. Early work. First book written by an Indian in English. This. Raj Mohan's Wife by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee is the first published English novel. First published English novel. उसके बाद बंकिम चंद्र चट्टोपाध्याय ने सब कुछ लिखा बंगाली में. After this, Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay wrote everything in Bengali. Anand Mad, then Durgesh Nandini, very important books. Then the first Parsi Baronet is by C.S. Nazir. It is the first Indian play in English. First Parsi Baronet. Henna. Then Henry Derozio. He was the first Indian poet in English. Did you know that? First Indian poet in English. Born in Calcutta. He was of mixed Indo-Portuguese descent. He was the assistant headmaster of Hindu College and he was associated with Young Bengals. Young Bengals. Did you know he had a newspaper called the East Indian? Newspaper called the East Indian. He wrote a lot of poems to the अभी edit किया मैंने ये सब. पहले तो मैं नहीं जानती थी, मैं नहीं पढ़ाती थी ये सब. अभी मैंने edit किया. Unacademy people, Unacademy babies, you should study this PDF also, okay? Because अभी मैंने edit किया है. The pupils of Hindu College, the harp of India, Fakir of Jangira, song of the Hindustani minstrel, to India, my native land. You know, I am teaching a very, very elaborate course for Karnataka Assistant Professor exam. And I studied so much to teach them. I made big presentations, so much material, Karnataka Assistant Professor exam. And I'm so thankful those people made me study like this. My students are behind my studying. When they are interested in studies, I study. This is Henry Derozio, to India, my native land. Then 5 sonnets addressed to night. Michael Madhusudan Dutt. Haven't you heard of Michael Madhusudan Dutt? Very important writer in Bengali and English. Meghnad Badhakavya. Tilotama. I think they've already asked in it. Yes, a PYQ hai shayad. Meghnad Badhakavya, Tilotama, famous poem Captive Lady. He made many translations also from his own Bengali works. Okay, will you remember, guys? Then there is Ramesh Chandra Dutt. Ramesh Chandra Dutt translated Ramayana and Mahabharata. Did you know that? And he also wrote 4 historical novels. ये हैं हमारे औरबिंदो जी का ब्रदर मनमोहन घोष was the brother of Sri Aurobindo. Hurry, he was a friend of Rhymers Club people. Who are Rhymers Club? W.B. Yeats, Ernest Dowson, Lionel Johnson. They are Rhymers Club people. Now, he has written a lot of poetry, songs, elegies, death, immortal love, Orphic mysteries, so many poems Manmohan Ghosh has written. Did you know that? Republic Day special from an academy, 6 months free extension. I am telling you, this is really economical now. You won't be spending unnecessary money. It will come to only very little. अभी join करना है तो करो, because live you have me in YouTube. Live मैं हूँ ना YouTube में. You can always come and listen to me and use my videos and PPT from an academy also. Easy. You don't have to spend much money. Did you understand? You can use my code and get 10% discount also. Ta-da-dang! Prescribed for Karnataka Assistant Professor exam. Toru Dutt. Entire poems of Toru Dutt? No. Major poems only. Toru Dutt has written, oh my God, one big book full of translations from French writers. One big book it is. She translated some 67 French writers. You know, A Sheaf Gleaned in French Fields by Toru Dutt, Bianca or the Young Spanish Maiden, Ancient Ballads and Legends of Hindustan. You pay attention and remember, because Toru Dutt is really somebody who worked with folklore, with ballads. She knew French. She wrote one novel in French and one in English. And many poems that are important. Our Casuarina tree, Lakshman, Lotus, Sita, Bogmari, the Tree of Life. What is the theme of these poems? All these poems I teach in detail in Karnataka Assistant Professor exam course that is going on. And then these poems are all about her nostalgia for homeland. She shows nationalistic spirit. She delves deep into characters and shows their psychology. Did you understand? She was, yes, Yashoda, she was inspired by French Romanticism, French language and French literature in general. Thank you, Yashoda baby, for telling me that. Yashoda is my YouTube baby as well as an Academy baby, plus baby. Then our Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore's autobiography is Jeevan Smriti. Jeevan Smriti means what? Everybody knows. It means my memories. Smriti is memory. है ना? Gitanjali or song offerings. He wrote 157 poems in Bengali. But when he translated it into English, there are only 103 poems. In English, 103. In Bengali, 157. है ना? Then, he wrote novels. Our Rabindranath Tagore ji wrote novels in English translation. He never wrote much in English originally. He translated into English only because his father, Rabindranath Tagore, was against English education. Remember, Rabindranath Tagore was against English education. Rabindranath Tagore did not write original works in English. है ना? And he wrote novels like Naukhadubi, Gora, Khare Bhoire, and translated them. Many poems are also there. The Gardener, Crescent Moon, Fruit Gathering. One poem is there called The Child. The Child is originally written in English only. He wrote many dance dramas, and he sometimes acted in them, sometimes directed them. Yes, Gitanjali, the introduction was written by W.B. Yeats. And who introduced W.B. Yeats to Tagore? It was the man William Rothenstein. And do you know, guys, what his important plays are? Chitra, the post office, The Cycle of Spring, Sacrifice. And Rabindranath Tagore wrote a lot of short stories, prose, philosophy, everything. And he was also a freedom fighter in a way. Okay, so that is about Rabindranath Tagore. There was a question in NET exam about his being a songwriter. है ना? Songwriter. Yes, that is right, Shivani. Aurobindo, the brother of Manmohan Ghosh, है ना? Editor of newspapers. He wrote The Life Divine. It is a treatise on philosophy. Savitri, a legend and a symbol. Do you know he took 50 years to write Savitri, a legend and a symbol. Then the future poetry he wrote. Future poetry is about a special kind of philosophical poetry, mystic poetry called mantrik poetry. Like a mantra, poetry should be. Poetry should directly communicate like a mantra without any middlemen. That is what Aurobindo wrote in future poetry. Will you remember, everybody? Then Aurobindo's plays dealt with different cultures, different countries. Perseus the Deliverer is one play that he wrote. It is set in Greece. Do you know that? Vasavadatta, set in ancient India. Rodoguna, set in Syria. Did you know that? Syria. Then Viziers of Basora, set in Middle East. Eric is set in Scandinavia. You want me to repeat? Perseus the Deliverer, Greece. Vasavadatta, India. Rodoguna, Syria. Viziers of Basora, Middle East. Eric, Scandinavia. It is actually my flask ka cover hai. It is not a cup. Only sometimes I use it. Otherwise, I use this cup. Ceramic. Then I will change the plastic cup. Okay. Thank you. Now, M.K. Gandhi. M.K. Gandhi is the author of The Story of My Experiments with Truth. Hind Swaraj. He was the editor of newspapers. He wrote Songs from Prison, which is some translations. So many important works he has written. So did Jawaharlal Nehru. Glimpses of World History, an autobiography, Discovery of India, Letters from a Father to his Daughter. Then there is Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. He wrote a 2-volume book, Indian Philosophy. Then Hindu View of Life, an Idealist View of Life. Eastern Religions and Western Thought, Religion and Society. These are very important books by S. Radhakrishnan. I will do that, Sneha. I will do that, everyone. Okay. Are you tired, guys? Am I going too fast or is it interesting? Did you know, guys? S. Radhakrishnan made translations of Bhagavad Gita. Not only S. Radhakrishnan. S. Radhakrishnan, C. Rajagopalachari, Sri Aurobindo, Mahatma Gandhi, Edwin Arnold, Charles Wilkins, Annie Besant, all of them wrote translations of Bhagavad Gita. Did you know that? Wow. Then there is Neeraj C. Chaudhary. Neeraj C. Chaudhary was a writer who frankly said, I like England and its culture. And you know what happened? People hated him. Because he liked English and its culture, people hated him. Neeraj C. Chaudhary was ex-VC of BHU. Oh, wow. An autobiography of an unknown Indian. A passage to England. The continent of Circe. Intellectual in India. Intellectual in India was the first book of Neeraj C. Chaudhary to be published in India. Before that, all the other books were published in England. Autobiography of an Unknown Indian was published in England. Will you remember? The sequel to Autobiography of an Unknown Indian is Thy Hand, Great Anarch. Thy Hand, Great Anarch. He got Sahitya Academy Award for Scholar Extraordinary, a biography of Max Muller. Did you know that? Guys, tell me, guys, are you following every day at 6? Along with this, those who are doing MA English entrance coaching, those who need MA English entrance coaching, please follow everyday at 6. All the videos in everyday at 6 are extremely important for MA entrance. Will you follow it? Everyday at 6 is a series I'm doing in YouTube at 6 p.m. Yeah. Then, my God, that is right. He lived 100 years. Ta-da-dang. Last work is Three Horsemen of the New Apocalypse. Oh my God, that came 2 years before he died. What a man, है ना? Sarojini Naidu. First anthology she wrote was The Golden Threshold. The Golden Threshold. Saris ya series? Harshada. Harshada is saying saris ya series? Ya both. Sa ya si. Sarojini Naidu. First anthology, Golden Threshold. After that, Bird of Time, Broken Wing. And it contains, Broken Wing contains The Temple, a series of lyric sequences. She also wrote The Sceptered Flute, The Feather of the Dawn. That is right, Sunil Kumar. Thy Hand Great Anarch is a title taken from Pope's Dunciad. Look at her famous poems. Some only I have given here. Palanquin Bearers, Coromandel Fishers, Pardanasheen, To a Buddha Seated on a Lotus, The Bird of Time, The Soul's Prayer. Wow, so many important poems. Harindranath Chattopadhyay was Sarojini Naidu's brother. Harindranath Chattopadhyay was Sarojini Naidu's brother. Multi-talented personality. He wrote poetry and plays, both. Then, ta-da-dang, Republic Day special aa gaya. Use Kalyani Valat code. Your mind is beautiful. That is why you think I am beautiful. I am just an ordinary silly woman. I am not beautiful or anything. Republic Day special 6 months free extension में बताती हूँ. This is going to be economical for you if you join now. Here, you can save money. Those who don't want to spend money, join this. Other writers देखो, K.M. Munshi. अरे ये नीलाद्री सब कुछ जानता है. कौन था ex governor of UP? Sarojini Naidu. Correct. Sarojini Naidu. K.M. Munshi, A.S.P. Iyer, T.P. Kailasam, P.A. Krishnaswamy, Bharati Sarabhai. All this is homework for you guys. You will have to find out what they wrote. Will you? Then, ta-da-dang. Oh, more works are there. A. Madhavaya wrote Satyanand, Clarinda, Tillai Govindan. Satyanand, Clarinda, Tillai Govindan. Written by A. Madhavaya. A. Madhavaya's son was there, M. Ananta Narayan. He wrote The Silver Pilgrimage. Are you paying attention or thinking about my saris and beauty? क्या है यार? Pay attention. देखो, A. Madhavaya wrote Satyanand, Clarinda, Tillai Govindan. His son M. Ananta Narayan wrote Silver Pilgrimage. Then T. Ramakrishna Pillai wrote Padmini, an Indian Romance. The Dive for Death, an Indian Romance. So both his novels are called an Indian Romance. उसका कोई और subtitle नहीं मिला क्या? Rajalakshmi Devi wrote The Hindu Wife or the Enchanted Fruit. Hindu Wife or Enchanted Fruit. Then Krupabai Satyanathan wrote Kamala, a story of Hindu life. Saguna, a story of native Christian life. Kamala, ayyayo, they asked this question in NET. Kamala Satyanathan, they said. Remember, Krupa Bai was called Kamala, I think. That is why. Kamala Satyanathan is Krupa Bai Satyanathan. Kamala, a story of Hindu life, and Saguna, a story of native Christian life. It is by Krupa Bai Satyanathan. ये पूछे थे नेट में. Sevanti Bai M. Nikambe wrote Ratan Bai, a sketch of a Bombay high-caste Hindu young wife. K.S. Venkatramani wrote Murugan the Tiller, Kandan the Patriot. I have taken all these points from very major prescribed books of Indian literature. That is why. Okay? So, all these books are very, very important. You should read extra about them, research about them. Alright? So, guys, this is postmodern age. Why are you all so romantic? Ma'am is like this, ma'am is like that, ma'am is beautiful, she is goddess. Chodo yaar, I don't like all this. We are postmodern. We have to postmodern fighting. You know, when I did, what is it called? Question paper analysis, one student came and attacked me so much there. Not only people who love me, there are people who don't like me also. He was saying, I don't help anyone, I am arrogant, I like only people who pay money, people who don't pay money I attack, like that he was saying. I don't know why he said. I was laughing here. He doesn't know me at all. Simply he is saying all these things. दुनिया ऐसा होता है. Some people love, some people hate. We are in between. We should not go overboard when people love. We should not shrink when people attack you. We should stay calm, composed, in between. We'll let anybody say anything. Some people say I am great, some people say I am bad. No problem. I have no problem because I don't change because of all that. Even if you say I am beautiful, I know I am not that beautiful. Even if you say I have such a good character, I know I am not that perfect. I am angry, I am irritated sometimes. The other day I said something in YouTube live which I regret very much. I said, those who say exam is difficult are acting like losers. Don't act like losers. We should be winners. I shouldn't have said that. It was very harsh. It must have hurt a lot of people. I only wanted to motivate you. I was feeling very desperate, like a mother feels desperate when children are saying exam is difficult. I was feeling desperate and trying to push you into studying more, realizing that if you study more, exam will not be difficult. With good intention, I said it. But I thought, oh my God, it must have hurt a lot of people. I used the word loser. Wow, how bad it was. So, I'm so sorry. I'm not perfect. There are so many mistakes I do, so many bad things I say. I have to learn. I have to improve. I'm learning from every experience, from everything. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you for all your love. Thank you for helping me learn. So that brings us to the end of this amazing session. Tomorrow we will do another amazing session. Okay? Bye-bye. Good night. See you tomorrow. Bye.